So we are live with Ken Davis and Susie, and this is Dial Susie 101, week 48. And Ken is going to do some awesome teaching with us, and I'm going to be writing a little mini ebook, writing what he's teaching today. So he's going to tell me a little bit about what's going on in his life. We're going to develop a 12-month plan. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and Ken is going to tell us all about what's going on, and I'm going to show Ken the book that I started writing. So Ken's going to go ahead and tell us what his goals are. Ken, before you say that, I'm going to show you, I'm developing this ebook for you. It says, Welcome to Online School, Susie Lewis, and we'll just say Susie Lewis and Ken Davis. Laptop mode, that's just like mylaptopmode.com. School for eBiz, make money online. So the first chapter is about influence, Robert Ciande. Why is it important? I haven't done the other two topics, but this is what I was doing when you were talking earlier. And now I'm doing that, the story behind influence. And we can go right here and take this book, put it in there. And what I was writing, Ken, is reciprocity. I have to like you, intimidate, dote on the wife, always ask the lady, and then we'll go from there. So we want to go ahead and jump into Ken's vision. So definitely do that, Ken. All right, so go ahead. Tell me your vision, and I will I will start doing that. Like, Ken, can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I see it fine. Thank you.
All right. So tell me a little about your vision so that I know kind of what to put on there. Okay, so Ken's vision. So I'm going to go jump to that, and we'll come back to the influence book. But I'm going to call this page Ken's vision. Do you see what I'm doing?
I do.
Okay. Do you like it?
I do. I like the format.
Ken's vision. Okay, so I'm going to vision. So, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to undo. I want to keep that there, and that's a square. So what I have filtered is square right here. And I'm just going to say the word vision. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, and we'll just take this, and then I drag and drop it, and it's going to go right into that box in a second if it clicks it. Come on. There we go. All right. Okay. Education with a purpose. Okay. So go ahead. Tell me your vision.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be on here with you, Susie. I guess I could probably describe you best as my mentor to a certain extent, certainly in crypto and especially with digital marketing. So I appreciate your time and I appreciate the opportunity. So getting back to my vision, I've been in the internet marketing space for about 2.5 years now. I've gone deep on self-education. I started this journey with Dean Graziosi and, of course, Tony Robbins, and later Russell Brunson. So I believe strongly in self-education. I think that's the new norm. Through those trials, I've come across Jamie Lewis and Susie Lewis with a lot of the products. They're both really productive producers. And so I know a little bit about how it goes together as far as affiliate marketing and some of the things that some of the skills you need to acquire along the way to do internet marketing, digital, especially as an affiliate. But what I'm really interested in is learning how I can go from a consumer to a buyer and learning what products that I can provide to some of the things that I've got interest in and have some knowledge. So the first of my three-legged stool would be my internet marketing. That's going to have to be a base of support until I get to the point where I can start producing my own products. But in the meantime, I'm also a 35-year veteran from transportation, logistics, distribution. And so I do have a current brick and mortar store. So I'm a freight broker in the air freight space. So we started that company about a year and a month ago, and we were able to scale it to 7 figures in the first 12 months. We'll close out the books on December 31st, and it looks like we'll hit 7 figures with year-to-date numbers as well. And so that's the second leg of it. And the third one is crypto. So I really want to have a solid foundation in all 3 of them, but they all support each other. So that's one of the reasons that I really want to spend time with Susie is the crypto side of the house. And that's what this call was originally set up to provide. So I'm looking forward to having that conversation. In the meantime, as far as the digital marketing, I was talking to Susie about some of the things that have influenced me in really getting to know what your customer needs and what they want. And she actually shared with me a few minutes ago. She runs a Buy the Builder program, which is a group
Beyond the Buy Builders.
Beyond the Buy Builders. And so we were talking about that, and she said that one of the biggest values she gets is actually listening to her customers as what some of their concerns are, their challenges are, and how they think they can work around them. And so that, to her, that gives her great insight into what her customers are talking about at the water cooler. So I think that was a really good insight. And the second bit of advice that I'd like to share that she shared with me was there were a few calls on a recent call, and people were complaining they weren't making what they wanted online. And her comment was, if you're not making as much as you want in internet marketing or digital marketing, you need to put more buy buttons out. And I thought that was brilliant. So we kind of get caught up with, we've got a blog, or we've got a website with a blog, or we've got a product. You can't make it with a product. You really need to go deep and broad. And so that's one of the things that she opened my eyes about was put more buy buttons out there. So my vision is to take all 3 of these assets and turn them into assets that has an exit strategy. So one of the things that Jamie Lewis has is a product called Custom Offers, where he and his team will actually give you a custom website. And you find a product or that you want to promote, whether it's yours or an affiliate relationship. And I got to thinking, that's great. He's got a couple of examples where he actually built the website out. He scaled it over 8 months, and he turned around and monetized it. And I thought that was even greater. That really resonated. Everybody else says build a website, make some money, and then go invest. But what his concept was, build a website, scale it, build another one, scale it. And so my goal is over the next 12 to 18 months is to have 12 or 14 websites that are up and running, providing value, building a list. So collectively, all 15 websites, 14 or 15 websites, would all drive a master list, which would then, like a river, it flows from one site to the second site to the third site, and it just picks up momentum along the way. So it's a good way to service our customers because now they see a very similar product, just in different flavors. And so I take that, and over a period of time, when it's seasoned to the point where I want to monetize it, put it out on Flippa and sell it. So a $30,000 a month revenue website. I think Jamie sold one through Flippa for $280,000. It's just a massive return on his investment. So if I could do that once a month, that monetizes then my spend on crypto. Then it also monetizes my investment in my my transportation company. So our goal there is the same thing: scale it to 3 to 5 million, package it and sell it. So I'm actually in the process of creating things of value, building them out, and then monetize them. So I've got an exit strategy on all 3 legs of the stool, if you will. So one of the other things that we were talking about was a book by Robert Cialdini. I think Dr. Cialdini put this book out 14, 15 years ago. And to be honest with you, it's been on my shelf for over 2 years. This is one of the books that I believe Dean Graziosi, or one of the KBB founders, recommended. So I went and got the book, and it sat on my shelf for 1.5 years. I didn't crack it. And recently I was on a podcast, and Stephen Dubner is the podcast host, and he actually asked Robert Cialdini to come on and speak about this book, and it really resonated. This is almost the keys to the castle, if you will, for internet marketing. We all know the rules. I mean, we all know that in order for people to buy from us, they have to know, like, and trust us. We have to have authority on the topic that we're speaking. We've got to check all the boxes, but we never knew why. And so this book actually drills down deep into the human psyche and tells you things about your own buying behaviors that you probably would have denied up until this point, but it's undeniable. We are who we are. And Susie and I were briefly going through the table of contents, and I was giving her some of the examples that Dr. Cialdini had used in his book, and it's fascinating. So I highly encourage anyone that wants to learn about the world of digital and internet marketing. This is a must read, in my opinion. So, Susie, that's kind of an overview. Do you have any questions, or is there anything that jumps off the page at you?
Yeah, what I would really love for you to continue on is if you could give me those 7 key elements within the book Influence, because that was it's an understanding of the self, and that is so important, that, like, the mindset. So it's a mindset reset, and I feel like what's so key here is that if you don't understand, I'm going to look for a picture for self-understanding, maybe even self-care. I think that could be another thing, but let me do understanding and see if I can find an appropriate picture for that for this page. I think that what I hear you saying with this book Influence, and what makes it so much better, this is probably really good, self-control. Right? But to control yourself, and it doesn't have to be bad control, but it's like to make certain that you're still moving forward on the path that you want, right? And maybe this one, self-control, I almost kind of want to put another picture in here. It's like, well, now I'll delete that. It's just to know who you are and who you're not. Maybe this was a better one. There we go. Awesome. That's great. I think that's a good example of that. So if you could go ahead and tell me what those other things are. You know what? I've got to tell you something. I need to take a quick break. I'm going to stop this